gentlemen, thank you for coming to the Plymouth School Board meeting. We'd like to call it to order, and would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item number 3, the adoption of the consent agenda as an order of business. We'll entertain a motion for that.
So moved.
Seconded?
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Now we need to consider the approval of the following. Approved minutes of February 9th, 2015 Committee of the Whole meeting. February 17th, 2015 regular board meeting. March 9th, 2015 Committee of the Whole meeting. March 17th, 2015 regular board meeting. Approval of the financial report from July 1st, 2014 through March 31st, 2015. Approval of bills for the period of March 1st, 2015 through March 31st in the amount of $6,292,879.93. Need a motion for this?
So moved.
Seconded?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Now it's time for the board clerk to administer the oath of two newly re-elected individuals, Pam and Richard. And Sally, if you'd step forward and administer the oath to them, please.
So I'll start out and say I, and then you guys say the your name on the side. So, okay. Raise your hand. I,
Pam Holsizer,
I, Richard York,
who have been elected to the office of school board,
who have been elected to the office of school board,
but have not yet entered upon the duties thereof,
but have not yet entered upon the duties thereof,
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of the said office to the best of my ability.
and will faithfully discharge the duties of said office to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Item number 6, the board district leadership team. Carrie?
Sure, we again had our legislative breakfast yesterday morning, and I do want to say that obviously the budget is the main topic of conversation, and the legislators, all of our legislators were there to join us, and they talked about the fact that K-12 continues to be a priority when and if any new revenue comes into the budget. So I do feel as though our legislators have represented us well, and that they're working for us to restore at least the categorical aid, if possible. I will also let you know that I attended a First Friday Forum with the Sheboygan County Chamber of Commerce last Friday, and heard the exact same information from, not last Friday, the Friday before, heard the exact same information from Senator Nygren, who co-chairs the Joint Finance Committee. And he too mentioned that K-12 education is a top priority. So hopefully that will pan out for us, and we'll see that help us with our budget. The unfortunate piece of it is just really the timeliness. We have a budget to prepare, and we may not know the answer until late May, early June. So we'll keep our eyes open and ears listening, and hopefully we'll see something happen for us. Other topics of conversation was the course options law, and a little bit about a few other things within the law, a little bit on the PALS testing and possible physical education ruling, but those things were pretty minor, and I don't see them going that far right now. I just do feel, though, that our legislators are listening to us and working with us, so.
Yeah, on the course option, our legislators introduced a student, back to the way it was, where the student pays
Yes,
program. There was some discussion on it from other people that had put in, but they'll do their best they can to get that back into the, where the student actually pays like he was a couple of years ago, into the state budget.
right. Actually, Devin LeMahieu is the one who put that particular option forward, so. Okay. And that was really, it was pretty much the budget.
Yeah, that was pretty,
Yep.
pretty
Carrie,
much,
the way that you said that, if and when there's more money coming into the budget, they'll restore that course options, or do they
No.
intend to try to change what the governor put forth?
No, the course options looks, what's been put forward is to repeal it back to the way it was.
No, I'm talking about the
But-
budget, the money.
The money is the categorical aid, and what it looks like is that if there is more revenue, K-12 will be a top priority, and they are looking to put that categorical aid, that $150 per student, back into the budget. And if there, and at least, is what I'm hearing.
And then maybe more if there's more money.
That was the information from Senator Nygren, but not, we didn't hear that on Monday.
we asked if, in the lower third of the district, that we could get more, if possible. And, you know, the lower third of the school districts which we're in would be able to get $50 more if that's possible, but that's just a guess, you know, a wish.
And being in that lower third, you mean the lower spending?
Yeah,
the low spending
yeah, right, lower
school.
spending third, correct.
Right. One of the things that our legislators have talked about is working on that formula. I know that that's, you know, something that's very difficult to do, but they are aware of the unfairness of that formula, so let's see what happens.
I'm glad to hear that our legislators are working on our behalf. Is there anything that the community can do at this point, or should do?
I think that it's been heard. Obviously, if the community wants to contact the legislators, they can, but I do believe that they have heard us. Yeah, absolutely. You can always do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Never hurts.
Yeah, and they're doing the best, you
Yes.
know, bearing in mind that we only have 3 representatives and 1 state senator in these meetings out of the entire legislature, but all 3 representatives and the state senator are in favor of what we're into, reinstatement and extra money, so.
Good.
Any more questions? Item number 7, Finance, Buildings, and Grounds. Consider changes in the 2015-2016 school year. Fee changes, John Miller?
Yeah, we're requesting that the board consider 2 fee changes for the 15-16 school year. The first is our hot lunch prices. We're asking to be increased by 10 cents per meal because we participate in the National School Lunch Program. We have to ensure that we are charging as much as the National School Lunch Program is reimbursing our free and reduced price children. And because of that, we cannot use their reimbursement from the federal government to subsidize the program. So we have to keep up with the federal reimbursement, so that's why we're asking for this 10-cent increase. The 10-cent increase, it should be known, will not generate the school district a lot more money. Typically, when we've increased fees, we've lost participation, so the program actually won't grow, but we have to do this to maintain part of the National School Lunch Program. The second fee change we're requesting is a decrease, basically eliminating the summer school fee. Previously, we had been charging $5 per class for most classes, $10 for some others, and $25 for the full-day classes like early childhood and some of the things that are simply one all-morning long section. The reason for this is twofold. The DPI guidelines severely restrict what we can use those fees for, and frankly, we must spend the fees so we don't lose or risk losing enrollment count in those classes. Most school districts who have summer school programs have eliminated these fees for that reason. The kind of items we can use the money for aren't necessarily always helpful to our program, and losing enrollment in summer school is far more costly on a revenue cap side than the amount of money fees we generate. And I guess thirdly, having just gone through the enrollment audit, the time spent for bookkeeping those fees, collecting them, is probably spending all of the fees that we actually generate from summer school, since we charge such a small amount. So I guess we're just suggesting, moving forward, that we have no fees and thus no barrier entry to come into our summer school.
We will need approval on
Yes,
both items.
we'll need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
John, just for clarity, those fees are this coming summer? Is
Yes.
that- All right, and then anyone who has paid already? will
Paid
be
is,
reimbursed?
they're already actually working to get those addresses and get the money refunded. There isn't a whole lot, I don't believe, that's paid already, but there's a few checks that came in.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right, good.
So I think this is great news, you know, for the families that maybe are financially strapped and couldn't afford to send their kids to summer school. No fees. Send your kids.
Any more questions?
No?
Hearing none, let's take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
No opposing? None. The next one is consideration of gifts and corresponding budget adjustments. Carrie?
Yes, we have tonight a donation of $2,000 from Plymouth Alliance Church to purchase smart boards for Parkview Elementary School, a donation of $131.71 from the Target store for the Plymouth School District, and a donation of $104.68 from Parkview PTK for student transportation on a field trip. It is recommended that you approve the gifts and the corresponding adjustments.
Any discussion? Oh, first we need a motion.
So moved.
Seconded.
Okay. Any discussion on this? Any?
What's the cost of a smart board?
Oh, gosh, I can't even tell you that right off. Smart
Whole
board,
setup is just under $4,000.
$4,000.
39 something.
That's with the computer.
$39.70 to be
The
exact.
board, the projector, the computer, and the mount, I guess, is about $39.66.
Okay.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And Claire asked that if they're on their way here, they're coming from a track meet, that we move on and just move them to another part in the agenda when they get here.
Sure. Well, this would be a period of public participation. I don't know if anybody signed. I don't believe so. So now I'll move on to the board liaison reports. Community Ed, Richard?
Yeah, always a lot of exciting stuff happening in community education. One of the purposes of community education is to provide and support the development of educational, social, recreational, and cultural activities and programs, presenting them to the community. And that's at the core of what community education does. But I like the next statement in that purpose. It says the first priority is to provide those services via other agencies. In other words, it's not that we feel we have to do it ourselves as a school, but if we can find others to partner with and network and create those opportunities. And I think that's the spirit of what community education is trying to do. We're trying to educate the entire community and give them these opportunities. And that's exciting. In the course listings, you should have just received in the Plymouth Review and other opportunities, the new course listings that are coming out for classes that start in May, and they have some great opportunities. I like the activities here. There's a family adventure series, kayaking and the ropes course working together, and that can be for grades 1 through adult. That's just, scuba diving is another opportunity that they have. That's for ages 10 and up, that's in the course listing. And then other activities that are happening, there's a biking opportunity, a couple of Saturdays where you can go out and get some instruction in biking, or just get out and explore some of the areas around Plymouth, which has some great biking opportunities. And then there's a runners club. So if it's time to get off the couch, this is your opportunity to do that. I saw one in the aquatics courses on water walking. And of course, being a minister, my mind went to Peter, and I wonder if he's going to be teaching that. But you look it up in your course listing and find out what that's about. So.
Figure out how to do that one.
That's impressive.
That's very good.
Nicely done.
Okay, thank you, Richard. At this time, let's reverse back to agenda.
Just don't, we've got a couple of people who are not here.
Oh, okay.
We'll
Then-
finish the committee reports,
Yeah,
and then
then
we'll
we'll
have you report.
Thanks.
Okay. So it'd be number B, the foundation, Bob?
Well, the foundation isn't walking on water, but
We're close.
we're close. We did break ground for the Food Science and Agriculture Center. We had a ceremony on the 8th, so that's exciting. Grand opening sometime in August, so look for that. We'll want the community to be there. We're also offering a new, for the Teacher Appreciation Week, which mark it in your calendar. It's May 4th through the 8th, and it's actually appreciation for school teachers and staff. And if you're wondering how you'd like to honor someone who's influenced your child or you in the school system, we encourage you to go to the foundation, and they have a really nice way to recognize that teacher. So go to the foundation website, check it out. But a great way to honor a teacher or a staff member, and it's May 4th through the 8th, so you better get going. The foundation also is offering 8 new scholarships this year on the awards night on May 20th, so that'll be a total of 28 scholarships that will be awarded by the foundation. And we encourage anyone else that would like to participate in this outreach of our foundation to please go to the website and find out how you can be a supporter to the foundation and the scholarship program. And finally, we are working on our strategic plan, and when we have that all put together, we'll have more information and tell you where the foundation is headed. So that's it for the foundation.
Thank you, Bob. And then item number C, Family Resource Center, Pam.
Great. I've got a little video to show you about the Literacy Council, which is part of the Family Resource Center. It's only 3 minutes, but whenever you're ready, Kurt, thanks.
English is a very complicated language if you compare it with other Spanish and French and Italian.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
It's very confused.
When I started, I wanted to learn English because at work I didn't speak nothing. Always, I'm child work girl. So I want to learn very English because for my kids, for my family, and for my work. Of course, we want know English better. To communicate with people. Yes, when we know language, it always opens the horizons. It's always changed life totally. Because, for example, with no language, it's in any country with no language, it looks like you're sitting in the box and you have to close it because you can't tell anything, you can't understand anything what other people tell you. I feel comfortable to talk in English now, and yes, I say that before, and this was the first step to change my life, because I have a daughter and I am a single mother, and I want to be someone in this country. So I guess going to school, but first meet someone who can help you with your language, that's a good start.
You know, I think sometimes we think about tutors as being teachers and having been teachers, but there's a lot of opportunity for people who are not teachers to be a part of this process. And there's just something about being able to help influence and positively affect another person's life. I would recommend that anybody who thinks they might have an interest in it, just give it a shot. They'll have a lot of help and a lot of support through the Literacy Council to do it.
Well, I want to say that tutors are like angels for me because they just want to help people like me, and that's priceless.
Great. Thank you, Kurt.
Thank you.
So the Literacy Council is one portion of what the Family Resource Center does throughout Sheboygan County. And May 11th and May 14th are free tutor training sessions. You get dinner on the 11th and you get a snack on the 14th. So right there, that should be a little incentive. The training is at the Job Center in Sheboygan on Wilgus Avenue. And if you're interested in that, just give Carol a call over at the Family Resource Center, and that phone number is 892-6706, extension 206, or go to familyresourcesheboygan.org. And you can view this video again if you want some more information. Be happy to help. Thank you.
Any questions? Thank you, Pam. CISA 7, John.
I don't have anything to report this month, but I bet I do next month.
Yes, you will.
The annual meeting is next month.
Sounds good. Item E, Professional Development Council. Sally, please.
They met earlier this month. I actually was not able to make this meeting, so thank you, Dan, for providing me what went on earlier this month. For the early release, all schools, of course, will be building their work goal. At Parkview, there'll be professional learning and application of the soft skills, growth mindset, and executive function. At Fairview, there'll be differentiation, application of the formative assessment practices to support that. Horizon, reflection and analysis of building goal attainment, and also grade level focus. At Riverview, there'll be professional learning about writing using the understanding by design. Math, special ed, science, ELA, and fine arts all took next steps in writing, unit writing in the formation of a UBD, and a presentation about school gardens with state organization representative was universally attended, and work has begun on that process for 2015-16. And here at the high school, presenters from teacher work groups shared lessons learned for others to implement across the curriculum. And some University of Wisconsin Green Bay masterwork was shared for purposeful planning as well. So a lot going on. And what I really like about the early release day is how the teachers help others learn what they know. We all go to our friends and co-workers and we learn from them, and that's what's happening here in the school district also.
And Sally, can I just add, one of the things that also happened was at the high school, we had 9 Malawi educators, teachers of teachers had come and actually learned from our teachers during that entire afternoon. Awesome. So I know that they thought it was a very valuable day, and again, sharing what they know to help other teachers. So yeah, it was very nice. Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Thank you, Sally. Is there any questions? Now I think we'll be ready to move back to Item 8, Plymouth High School AFS report. Claire?
So we've got a couple people that are missing. These guys have all just been at the track meet at Sheboygan Falls. So,
Perfect weather.
yeah, it was really great. And they were really sad to leave because I pulled them out a little early. So I'm kind of hoping that the rest of the group is going to come walking in. I know we've got at least one more student who's coming, but I'm going to let them introduce themselves. And we have 10, oh, there we go. Well, did you get the DVD? Yes. All right, we're going to do that first. We're going to do that first. Because rather than Claire talking all the time, which is something that I do really well, I'm going to just show some pictures. And it has sound if you so. One of my favorite things to do, as these guys know, because I make them do this all the time, is take pictures of them. Oh, it's a picture. But they do so many cool things during the year. And so this is just a little bit about their year. So have a seat.
You by the rest direct you where to go. So make the best of this task and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos and memories and asking on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life.
So that's our year so far. You can see the myriad of experiences that they've had, and this has been a really active group of kids. So you saw on the screen fall play, the musical, football, soccer, cross country. Well, I didn't even see cross country because swimming, track. We just had just amazing things that these guys have done. So what I want them to do, come on back up now. You guys can introduce yourselves, where you're from, and your host family. So do that first.
My name is Anya. I'm from Russia, and my host family is Anne and John Viden.
Hi, my name is Carolina. I'm from Chile, and I'm staying with the Kings.
And I am Melis. I'm from Turkey, and my host family is Macready's.
I'm Emily. I'm from Denmark, and I'm staying with the Sedlaceks.
I'm Rika. I'm from Germany, and I'm staying with the Schultz family.
Sorry for my voice. I'm Thomas.
I'm from Spain, and I'm staying with the Gaffneys.
I'm Zuhair. I'm from Lebanon, and I'm staying with the Wilsons.
And actually, Zuhair's an interesting addition. You'll see he wasn't in any of the pictures because he didn't arrive in Plymouth until February. And so we've just gotten to know him over the last couple of months, but it's been great. And he's out for the track team, and he has assimilated extremely well into this group, which you would think at the end of the year it would be hard to do that, but these guys have been so welcoming, and he's done such a great job. So I am super proud of all of the things that they've done. The way that, you know, we ask our kids to become involved, and they did right from the start, and it's been a great year. And it's one of the reasons it's been such a great year. They've been really successful. I have to say, Anya on Saturday was at the state forensics meet, and why don't you tell what you talked about at the state forensics meet, Anya?
I gave a speech about why young American high schoolers should become an exchange students and study abroad. And I got 25 out of 25 on my speech, which is perfect score and golden medal at state in medicine. Anya's taken every advantage of the opportunity that she has, and Anya's a flex student, which is students from the countries of former Soviet Republic. And what's interesting about that issue is that she's from Russia. And as of next year, because of the State Department and issues with our State Department and with Russia itself, there will no longer be Russian students a part of the Flex program. Now, there will still be, we are going to have a Flex student next year who's from Moldova, so we're still going to have, that program will still be in existence. But unfortunately, Russia and the United States had some issues, and they can't come together on that. And the sad thing is I've said this a number of times, and I'll continue to say it. I can't imagine not having Anya in our lives. I can't imagine Nadia, who was here last year. I can't imagine her not being here. And that's what we're losing when we do that. We have another student, Leon, who's not here right now because he's sick. He's a CBYX student, which means Congress Bundestag Youth Exchange. And that is one of the oldest programs, 1960-something, no, is that right, 1983? 1983. But they've had, that's an exchange, it's another scholarship program, especially between, there's Mr. Petrie, but I don't see Antonio.
He's doing something more important than
Eating dinner. But anyway, the CBWAC students come to us from Germany, and it's a scholarship program. There's been over 27,000 students, and that funding is at risk because the State Department, again, has decided that they don't feel that the $4 million that they give every year to that program is something that they want to continue to do. Now, quite obviously, I feel pretty strongly. We've had some amazing CBWAC students here. Certainly, Leon has been super involved. He decided that he wanted to play football rather than play soccer, so he played football and did a really great job in the JV team. He swam for me, which I was pleasantly surprised. He was in the musical, and he was just in Romeo and Juliet, and he's just had a great year. And so, Zuhair and Melis are two YES students. Why don't you guys tell what YES student is?
Well, the YES student is the Youth Exchange and Study Program. It's been available since 2003. It's for these the countries that has a significant Muslim populations, and the goal is to provide a better image for the Middle East now, especially after 9/11, and and I think it's a really good idea to have more YES students since the recent Middle Eastern conflicts now. So,
yeah.
What's interesting about both Melis and Zuhair is they're from Lebanon and Turkey, which are, when we've had students from Egypt, we've had students from Pakistan, from Yemen, from, where else am I going?
Macedonia.
Where? Macedonia. And so what's really interesting about them coming here is I think, and both of them spoke at our AFS presentations on Sunday,
And what's really fabulous about that is that then you get to meet someone face to face who's from that place. And it takes away all of the questions that you have about people who are from there, because now you have some person who's come into your life and talked to you about where they come from. And this is where I live. And this is what we're about. And we like to drink tea or coffee or whatever it is, you know? Yeah, or both, yeah. So one of the things that I've asked them to do is I've asked them, I'd like for you guys to say, what's the one thing, or what's a thing that you're gonna take with you? What's one of your favorite experiences of the year?
I can go. Going to New York, because my dream became true. I always dreamed with crossing the ocean and coming to New York. And once I saw the Statue of Liberty, it was just amazing.
Yeah. So Tomas went as a part of the Bela. There's a touring company that AFS only uses, and kids can go. They've got a bunch of different trips, and so Tomas and Antonio both went to New York City, to New York, and New York City, and it's a pretty amazing thing, I think, for any student to and other students. Anya was able to go. Leon also went. So with the chorus trip. So who else has something?
I think just staying here in the U.S. and being enrolled in an American high school with awesome friends is a great experience. And I went to New York City and I went to Disney World, and it's really what I expected, and I think that's one of the highlights of my year, and Pop-Tarts.
What's your favorite flavor of Pop-Tart?
S'mores.
S'mores.
Oreo is better.
Yeah. Oreo.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. So who else? Who's ready?
It's hard for me to pick one thing, but I think general the entire school spirit. And in the beginning when I came, I started running cross country before school started, and I made some great friends, and it was really easy for me to go into school the first day because I already knew some people here. And then just being at the football games and just feeling everyone, they came together for this one event, because in my home country we don't have any sport related to school, and I think people, they only play in clubs. So it has been really great to just being a part of the school spirit and supporting my friends.
And I love the school spirit too, but also now I have a second family. And for example, I call my host mom and my host dad because they're not different from my natural parents. And now I have 3 siblings, and I am so close to them. I don't know how to leave them in the end of the year. And same with my parents. And I have amazing world family, and they're just like my siblings. I cannot different them from my own siblings at home. So I made a second family in a second life, so it's kind of hard to leave all this back.
As well as Emily, I really have a really close relationship with my host family, and it's really hard to think when you leave, because you are actually start considering them your family, your second family, and it's really hard to understand you have to actually leave it, because before I came, I hear a lot about you're gonna start feeling that they're actually your family. It's that's not gonna happen. I love too much my mom to take her it's something, but it's kind of how they say women say that when you have a second kid, it's absolutely it's the same love for both, and it's kind of like that. So maybe that explains better how I feel about my host family.
All right. Oh.
You can go.
Okay. Yeah. Pretty much what they all said. That you really go to another country and meet so many awesome people, and the school spirit, especially because it's I don't know, as Emilia said, in my home country in Germany, they would never even be people at football games or go to sports or to things after school activities, or support their friends, and it's just awesome. I think when I go home, I will miss that a lot, and I get to travel a lot too, so that was awesome.
Nice.
I agree with all the guys. And the one thing I would like to
bring to my country is, I think it's in school. The spirit, of course, the guys talk about it, but also relationships between teacher and student. Because in my home country, it's very formal, and you don't see people talking about life or, you know. Here, I feel like teacher and a student are actually friends, and I think it's amazing. I really want to be like that in my country.
So you see why I'm so proud of them. And I just want to recognize Ann Whedon. Ann and I are co-chairs with the Plymouth High School chapter. And this has been an amazing year. These are amazing students. And I would just like to encourage anyone who is interested in hosting or knows someone who would like to host. We have 4 students so far that are coming for next year. But we just know with the depth of the relationships that can be, we've just experienced so many good things. And this school district, because the school board and the school is so welcoming to our kids, that's why they have the opportunities that they have. And that's why they get to do and get to take this back. So not only, you know, they leave a little part of themselves here with us, but they take a little part of us back home with them. And it's a relationship now that's even easier to continue with the internet. It's really, you know, we had dinner a month ago or so. We were Skyping with our student from 2 years ago, and I was, you know, when you get ready to that point where it's time to have dinner, and you need to have dinner now because the food is running out, and so we are on, the computer is out there with Sigrun, and I said, okay, we're eating dinner, but she's going to come and eat with us. So we just set the computer right on the table, and the conversation continued with the 5 of us, with her in Iceland and us here. And that's what you want to be able to do. And I thank all of you so much for supporting these programs, because these kids mean the world to us and to their families, and it's just a great situation. So if anybody has any questions.
Question time. Bob, Jimmy?
All I want to say is thank you. I was fortunate enough to attend at least 2 of your presentation evenings, and for you to get up and share your experiences and talk about your country, I've learned a lot, and I just commend you on your ambassadorship to our country and the work you do. It's really commendable.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And for you and Ann, the work that you do to bring this to Plymouth, thank you. I have a question for you though. So if a family in the community is thinking about hosting a student from around the world, what does it take on their part?
There's information. Jamie has graciously, last year was the first year that we created she created an AFS page on the district website. So all the information in terms of contact information for anyone who's interested, that is all out there. We did 3 presentations this year. Typically we do, you know, we typically have to do that, and we moved it thanks to kind of a collaboration between between generations, Kathy Murray and Luann Travis, and we moved it to generations, and that's been a really cool thing too, because more members of the community have come. We have Susie Bourneville's mom, I think, was at every single presentation this year. So, you know, Susie's a custodian at the high school. She gets to know all these kids. Susie comes to most of them, but her mom went to all of them. So, you know, I mean, those are the connections that we want to make. We want to continue to make. It's not just about the families. It's about all those other things, and then you can take it out. But yeah, great question, Sally.
So actually, the community members, they don't have to have students in school. Nope. It can be somebody that's just no kids at home and still
we started hosting when our daughter was 7. Ann and John?
We've been hosting, Anya is our 11th or 12th.
And I've been hosting, I think, 9 of them without any children at home, and it's really nice. I think she knows she has her parents all to herself, you know, she doesn't have to share, there's no sibling rivalry. So, you know, it's really, we became involved because of the students that we met when we were in high school. You know, that's how I talked my daughter into allowing us to host our first student in 2001, I think it was. But yeah, it's great to have them for a year, and really you provide your heart and a home, and you know, that's the things you would do for your children.
And then also there are some liaison opportunities that if maybe you don't necessarily have the means or the time to host someone full-time, that you could be involved with as well. Is that correct?
And we actually have a pretty unique situation. We have, you know, this year we have 10 right now. Last year we had 11. The year before that we had 11, but 12 students. One of them was at a school in Sheboygan. But we have one liaison for each student. And most places, that's not the case. We find that the more we can get people involved, the better. Because the more connections they have, it's just, that's the best thing we have. And so we have one liaison for each student. So that requires the liaison, that other person, to be in contact with these students once a month. And they have to, and they also have to contact us, check in with us and see how things are going. And when things aren't going well, or then you've got someone to talk to. And you know, and they help a lot. They help bridge the gap. They help really both host family and hosted student. It's a great thing for us. I think that's one of the strengths of the AFS program, is the liaison component.
I have a question. What American food do you like the best?
You like this?
Oh.
Has no opinion about food.
I got luck to come to Plymouth and to come to Chester's and to try the root beer. It's the only root beer I like, though.
I think what I would have in my perfect American day would be Pop-Tarts for breakfast and maybe root beer, Mountain Dew. I don't care, one of them. And I've tried Chester's, and it's like heaven in your mouth. And yeah, you can't go wrong with Chester's. I mean,
And I never ate pork before I came here, and because I'm a Muslim, this is like a rule. But then I came here, and I'm like, why not? Like, let's try. And then I ate bacon, and now my favorite food is bacon cheeseburger. I'll miss it.
I think it was quite lucky to get to Wisconsin because I really like cheese. So I've had a lot of different kind of forms of cheese in every different kind of way, and cheese curds is definitely one of my favorites.
Same.
I forgot peanut butter.
Yeah.
Any other food items?
I like Culver's and and Chester's a lot, but also I like maple syrup, which my host family makes. Oh yeah. And I was going to say something. Ice cream. Ice cream. It's very good in America. Yeah.
With maple syrup.
So do you have it in your country?
Yeah, well, I'm from Russia. Yeah, we have ice cream.
It's cold there.
But it's not as good as American.
How many of you have peanut butter in your country? Okay.
That makes me sad.
The other thing is, I noticed on the thing that you had someone had an opportunity to go to Sheboygan or into Lake Michigan during the polar bear.
Who did polar bear punch?
Yeah, who did polar bear?
Yeah.
So, is Wisconsin weather colder or better?
It's so cold. I'm living in Spain. It's like the warmest.
It's very
same
cold.
As
Same as Siberia.
Same as Siberia.
Siberia.
Well, that's
Yeah, it says cold there too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Much colder.
It's cold, but for my country, it's also warmer in the summer.
I think it's really cold because the coldest we can have is like 30. Like 30 is like, woof, don't get out of home. And here we're like -20 and going to the highest. And I look close, I have to walk. Oh my God.
I think the bad part about track is our coach is not the oh, the weather is bad, track is missed type of coach. So, in Lebanon, like the lowest it can get is like 30 degrees Fahrenheit, and the highest would be 95 or 90. So I'm not used to this kind of weather, but I mean, it's different. I mean, different is good, so why not?
Are there any more questions? We really appreciate your visit to us, and when you get home, please think of Plymouth and take some of that Plymouth pride back with you, will you please?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you all very much.
And we'll move forward to 11 on our agenda, personnel. Carrie, please.
Sure, hard to follow, but a nice,
Yes.
what a nice
That's
thing.
really nice. Yeah. Good group this year.
Yep. Tonight, the board will consider the resignation of Elliot Friedel, Plymouth High School cross-categorical teacher, effective at the end of 2014-15 school year. Elliot has worked in the Plymouth School District for 2 years. The board will also consider a one-year leave of absence for Abigail Price for the 2015-16 school year. Ms. Price is a third-grade teacher at Parkview Elementary School and has requested a one-year leave of absence for the 2015-16 school year to raise her child, which will be born later on in the summer.
So we'll need a motion for,
So moved.
Second.
any discussion? All in favor? Say
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. And then item D, support staff changes.
Well, first we'll consider the changes to the 2015-16
right.
teacher framework.
Yep.
And actually, we've discussed this in the closed session, and I do have another copy at your seats. But the changes are very minor this year. Mostly, we will be updating deleted practices, which refer to the implementation of the Teacher Effectiveness Project. And also, another change will be just the school days in which the teachers are expected to be here, and what it does is it just changes to reflect the calendar that we changed this year. We also have clarified some language to identify the base wage, and we've added a sentence to sick leave, allowing more flexibility to the superintendent for bereavement leave. And if all is okay with you, it's recommended that those changes be approved tonight for the framework for 2015-16 school year.
So moved. Second.
Discussion, any? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Okay, now we go to support staff.
Yep, now we have our support staff, and Karen Bubb is going to retire. She is a Fairview Elementary School teacher's aide, and she will retire at the end of the 2014-15 school year. Karen has worked for Plymouth School District for 24 years. Katie Dykstra, Riverview Middle School Special Education aide, has resigned. Ryan Rush has been hired as a groundskeeper for the Plymouth School District. Bill Dickfoss has been hired as a custodian for Plymouth High School. Bonnie Yeager has been hired as a special education aide at Riverview Middle School. Jennifer Lund has been hired as a special education aide at Fairview Elementary School. Chris Verdew has been hired as a special education aide at Parkview Elementary School. Denise Roth has been hired as a special education aide at Parkview Elementary School. Renee Moynihan has been hired as a special education aide at Parkview Elementary School. And finally, Ann Nelson has been hired as the new, one of the Plymouth School District nurses in place of Mary Peschke's retirement.
We don't need to take any action on
Nope,
this now.
that's just an update for everybody.
Very good. Okay, item number 12, travel.
Tonight, the board will consider out-of-state travel requests from Miss Julie Overby, Riverview Middle School Social Studies teacher, to take students to Washington, D.C. The date is June 14th through the 18th, 2016, and the reason why we need to request this early is so that they can start their fundraising activities. And the trip request is consistent with the guidelines and board policy, and the expenses will be the responsibility of the students and the families. And we have taken this trip before. It's pretty much every other year.
So we need a motion on this?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 13, there is nothing. Item number 14, the President's Report. We were discussing setting a summer hours for the month of June and July. These hours are mostly set because we want to have our staff, the people that serve us for these long days over the year, to have a better evening hours in the summer, being at home with their family and things along that line. So we were discussing this, and it came to the thought of 5 o'clock start time for June and July.
5:30.
Well, general consensus was 5 o'clock.
Okay.
So, but if, we could change that if you want.
June, July, and August, or June, July?
Just June and July, because I think in August, we should really go back to the 7 o'clock time. Parents are going to be bringing their, may want to attend, and some things along that line. So it'd be June and July. So if there's any questions, or otherwise, we'll just set that time and go from there.
I'm okay with it.
Actually, if it's something that you want to do, we should probably put it on the board agenda for next month to approve it. I think discussing it 2 months ahead of time is good, and then I would put it on the agenda to be approved in May, so that gives everyone 2 months to hear it.
Okay. And we just already discussed the legislative meeting that we had today, so there's no more report from the president. Carrie?
Okay, I have some staff accomplishments and some student accomplishments. First of all, I do want to thank Sarah Reby, Riverview Middle School Band Director, for our Riverview Middle School students work with the Lakeland College Band. Sarah was able to bring 40 college-level musicians to Riverview to be able to play together, and this was a great experience for our Riverview school students, and they learned a lot from the college musicians. So thank you very much for reaching out. I also would like to highlight that Horizon has just had a drive for goodwill, and thank you to Melissa Costello and Justin Lloyd for arranging a goodwill drive to collect clothing to help families in need. As of Monday, they had collected 10,000 items. They will be collecting up through April 30th, and I want to encourage everyone to bring whatever they can, because the team or the school that collects the most items will get a visit from Donald Driver.
Oh, wow.
So we would like that very much. Also, I want to congratulate 23 of our teachers, and I didn't bring their names because they'll all be coming to you eventually to present. But this 2 weekends ago on a Saturday, we had 23 teachers who took part in our master's degree program through the University of Wisconsin-Green Bay, and they presented their master's theses all day Saturday. And I know that it was an outstanding day because of all of the feedback that I've received from the University of Wisconsin-Green Bay. I think that Dan has put a significant amount of work, as well as the other teachers. I know we had some principals who have taught in the master's cohort. And I can't say enough about what the teachers have been able to do, and their concentration of each of these teachers that they have on learning and becoming better all the time so that they can be better for our students. So Dan, I don't know if you want to say anything about these 23 teachers, but it's a pretty amazing accomplishment. And
yeah, I would just say one thing, that the professors from the UWGB graduate program that watched the presentations and read the material that came in they were saying that what most of the cohort members had done far exceeded any of their other cohorts that they've ever worked with, as far in terms of both quality and quantity of learning, and they really want to encourage our cohort members to go out and do more. I mean, they want us to share and grow and learn internally, but they encourage many of them to go out and teach the world at the same time, and to publish and to move on to the doctorate stage, to finish some of their research that should be, that could help people all over the place. So they were really, they had a lot of nice things to say about the work that was done. So very proud of their work, and I know it's going to continue. So.
And I am going to mention that before your seats today, sitting before you, you do have an invitation. Plymouth has been recognized as receiving the Friends of Education Award through University of Wisconsin Green Bay, and you are all invited to attend that ceremony on May 6th. So it's a very prestigious award. Plymouth should be very proud of it. I also just want to read this as a staff recognition. I always do receive letters, and I love it, and this one was too good to pass up. It says, "Good afternoon. I just want to offer some well-deserved thanks to Stephanie Wasmer, who is an elementary music teacher, for inspiring her students in music. We have a girl and a boy in 4th grade at Fairview Elementary School, and even though our family encourages an interest in the arts, we have never before seen our kids so excited about music. For example, Miss Wasmer recently completed a unit on recorder playing for her 4th graders, and the way she planned and implemented a recorder karate program rewarding students with a series of belts for practicing and progressing to more challenging material was a delightful mix of fun and pure genius. Not only were our 2 students motivated to continually practice and try harder, but I often heard other 4th graders in the Girl Scout troop I lead chatting animatedly about what was happening in music class and how far they have progressed. Thank you for hiring such a talented, kind, hardworking, and innovative teacher. And please do whatever you can to acknowledge and keep her." So I'm reading this tonight.
Black belt and recorder.
Yes, isn't that good?
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, all right.
So for student accomplishments, last Wednesday, we recognized 42 seniors who attended the Academic Honors Banquet. These seniors qualified for this event by maintaining a 3.85 GPA or better, a very admirable accomplishment. We also had 81 re-inductees into the National Honor Society and 84 new inductees last Wednesday. This was a very nice day overall with both of these events. Our Future Business Leaders of America team had 26 students competing in 14 events at the state conference held in La Crosse. Plymouth High School placed second at the event, and of these 26 students, we had 9 students who have qualified for the national conference in Chicago and will take place this summer. Plymouth High School also placed third at the annual Lakeland College Forensics Accounting Competition. Our team consisted of Drew Schweigert, Michael Bolin, Tessa Wolfel, and Jared Larson. And we also had 4 girl swimmers, Amy Hollick, Maddie Schmidt, Jackie Snow, and Allie Van Ellis, who received the Wisconsin Interscholastic Swimming Coaches Association All-State Academic Award winners. The award criteria is that you must be a senior, having achieved a 3.50 or higher cumulative GPA. The athlete must also have participated in swimming and diving for 2 seasons, earning a varsity letter in at least one of those seasons. So those are the accomplishments, and then dates to remember. We have May 11th is the Committee of the Whole meeting at 5 p.m. May 13th, John, that's your CISA 7 Service Agency Annual Convention. May 13th is also the Staff Recognition Dinner at 6 p.m. at the Depot. Please let Anna know if you plan to attend. The legislative dinner is 6 o'clock. The Board of Education meeting is at 7 p.m. on May 19th. And the Plymouth High School Awards Night is May 20th at 7 p.m. So that is always, that's the night that Bob was talking about with all the scholarships. Yes. So it's always a really nice night. And then our next early release is May 20th. That's all that I have,
Carrie,
but yes.
Can I back you up?
Yes.
Because there is something else I'd like you to speak to.
Sure.
What you and I did last week at Riverview.
Oh, absolutely, I do.
Talk
Yes.
about
Yes, I'm
event.
sorry about that,
Yeah.
yes. Yes, also.
That was a great event.
Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and well, I'd like you to speak, because I'm sorry with the teachers' names, I'll get the teachers' names wrong. But,
Sure.
Riverview put on this Greatest Person Challenge, and I don't know if you've heard about it or not, but in the spirit of March Madness, they create brackets. And in the social studies program, these kids, they argue or debate, they provide a persuasive argument as to why the person they selected is the greatest person ever.
Mm-hmm.
And they break it down all the way down to a final 10, and Carrie and I and Dan. And Jennifer were invited to go and judge the final 10, and they went up on the stage before all their peers and they presented their case, and it was just great.
Yeah.
It was a fabulous event. The kids were excited. It was that combination of fun and great learning. I learned a lot, and just kudos to the
Yep.
entire staff, the group, the Riverview. I thought it was a fantastic day, and made me want to go back to middle school.
Yeah, yeah, so it really was, and actually the Taylor Limbrick and Anaya Langyer are the two teachers who really do put that on. I know that the whole 6th grade works very hard, but those are the two teachers who
Okay.
were the lead teachers.
And
Tyler Grid, correct.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought, so, yeah.
Yeah.
Great time.
Thanks for bringing that up, Bob. That's good. Thank you.
Another cool way to make learning fun,
Oh, yeah.
like the recorder black belts. you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yep. Can't find that in a textbook.
No.
That's right. Okay, that's all I have. We will need closed session tonight.
Yes, so I'll need a motion to adjourn to closed session under 19.85, paragraph 1 of the Wisconsin State Statutes to consider employment, promotion, compensation, and performance evaluation of public employees and contract negotiations with the PEA.
Seconded.
This is-
Roll call?
Roll call vote, yeah.
John?
Yes.
Pam?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Sally, yes. Richard?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
And Jamie, yes.
So we are adjourned. Thank you for coming.
Bob, thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, it was
Awesome.
just such a
Awesome, yeah, that was a great.
Oh, we were having so many good things.